Right, okay, welcome back to another video on the channel. Today is my match preview for Chelsea versus Brighton. Our next game in the Premier League, today, Sunday. Let's get into it. So we go again, home to Brighton at 2 p.m, as I said, Sunday afternoon, this afternoon. A game where both teams, if both teams had fully fit squads, it really could go either way. And even though both teams, especially them, were affected with suspensions/injuries, I think it's going to be a really close game. A game really could go either way. I'm surprised it's not on TV, to be honest. I think it probably could be the best game of the afternoon, out of 2 o'clocks at least. I think, it's going to be a really interesting game. Two really interesting teams. Obviously, you've got us where you never know what you're going to get, and then you've got Brighton, who have also been a bit inconsistent this season. But when they're playing their football, they can be fascinating to watch. So, hopefully this isn't one of those games where they're like that. But, as I said, this could be a really interesting game. See how they both match up, see how both teams play. Do Brighton change their style to try to combat our weaknesses? Do we try pressing more? Because obviously they've got quite a few injuries. Really interested to see how both teams line up this one. This season in the league, we've had 6 wins, 4 draws, 3 losses, what puts them 8th. And in the last 5 games in the league, they are 1 win, 3 draws, 1 loss, having lost to City, draws to Fulham, Everton, Sheffield United, and a loss to Nottingham Forest, while down to 10 men was the last game week. In all competitions, they are on a 7-game unbeaten run though, and in all comps they have won 3 of their last 5, obviously advancing from the Europa League group stages in the week on Thursday. Away from home in the league so far, they are 3 wins, 1 draw, 2 losses. So not the worst record away from home. Definitely a team to be worried about, as they won away from home at Forest last week. Not an easy place to go away as well. They do have about up to 7 players out injured, with an additional 2 suspended players, plus potential for a few others as well. So this Brighton team will not be anything near like their strongest team at all. But as I'll get into the next segment, either will ours. Dunk, Estepinian, Webster, Fatty, Milner. Yeah, they're the ones I can name off the top of my head right now. Dahoud. Yeah, quite a few big players out for them, but it's going to play a massive role in it. The head-to-head between us two is in the last 5 games, one win for us, 2 draws, and 2 Brighton wins. We were unbeaten against them in 17 games across a 55-year period until last season, where they beat us both home and away, relatively comfortable in both games, despite going 1-0 down at Stamford Bridge. Although they won 2-1 in the end. As I said, they won that rather comfortably for a 2-1 score, and also beat us 4-1 at the Amex. So last season wasn't ideal against them at all, after a relatively comfortable period against them, quite a few draws, to be honest. We have already beaten them once this season, however, and that was a 1-0 in the League Cup at the Bridge. Nicholas Jackson getting the goal. Wasn't an easy game though, very close game. They had probably 2 chances they should have scored. We had a goal disallowed. The only meetings as managers, as far as I'm concerned, between Poch and De Zerbi was that League Cup game a few months ago. Our last 5 in the league, we're 1 win, 2 draws, 2 losses, and we are 2 wins, 1 draw, 2 losses in our last 5 in all competitions. We've been massively inconsistent so far this season. There's been times where we've gone out, looked good, made some massive steps, and there's been times where we've just gone out and looked really sheepish, a bit rubbish, like last weekend really, and we look like we haven't been up to it. I think one of the reasons you could say is because it's an inexperienced squad. A young squad, youngest average squad age in the league. You could probably put it down to that. But, I do think, we're starting to play a bit more of the game we want to do. Even last week we saw glimpses of, starting to pass about. When we play the football we want to, we can be troubling. And, that could definitely follow through this Brighton team this afternoon. Also, they've got a weak team. If we control the game, play our football, then, it's a very winnable game for us. It's low books though, what we've really struggled against, and I'm slightly fearful that with a lot of players out and being away from home, Brighton do come and play a low block this afternoon, but I guess it's something we'll just have to wait and see. It's hard to predict really. Our home form hasn't been massively convincing as well this season, mainly because of that factor. So yeah, it's a very interesting game. It's up for taking. Anyone can retake it. Both teams both teams really want this. Definitely need it. if we win, we go up to 10th, or should go up to 10th, so a goal difference. And if Brighton win, they'll go up to 7th, overtaking Man United. So, both teams could gain positions depending on the result. So, yeah, big game really for both teams. So if we look at our team news, so out we've got James who's suspended, Cucurella who's suspended, Gusto who's injured, Chalobah's injured, Fana injured, Chilwell injured, and Chukwuemeka injured. There's Conor Shaw's in Lavia and in Kunku, they both could be included in the squad. They were to have late fitness tests yesterday, so they both could be in the squad, but they're not going to start. There's a chance of them playing, probably not high. Even if they do, it would be 5 minutes. So they're basically out as well. So the team I would play, very interesting team. Obviously, Robert Sanchez in goal, and obviously Cucurella, James, Gusto, Chalobah, in Chilwell, all out, leaves us with 5 players who probably could play fullback. Obviously, Chalobah's the one who doesn't play there consistently. Leaves us with pretty much all our fullbacks out. So very interesting to see what I'll do with the back 4. I think I'm going to stick with the back 4. Right back, I had a choice of 3 really. Disasi, Caicedo, and Ian Matson. I've decided to go with Disasi, but I feel like if it is Mitoma on that left wing for Brighton, it could be a very long afternoon. It might have been better to put Caicedo out there. So I'd keep that in mind. I think Caicedo could be a possibility to go right back, because that right hand side is going to be vital, with Mitoma being Brighton's hopeful main source of attack for them, with Ansu Fati out. The 2 centre-backs, Silva and Badiashile, unchanged from Brighton. Not necessarily because I've seen the performance last week and wanted to go unchanged. It's what we've been forced to do with suspensions and injuries. And left back, I've put Levi Colwill in there. Once again, Ian Matson, he's definitely gone under the radar this season. He hasn't been used much. I called for him to stay in the summer when there's rumours of him being sold late on. But he hasn't really been used. This is a game where he could be used, possibly. Do you really want to be throwing young players like him into games like this where, if something goes wrong, he gets a lot of criticism? I would like to see Matson used more, and this could be the perfect game for it. You could put Matson at right back against Mitoma. It'd be a very hard job for him, especially not having much game time this season. But it'd be interesting to see if he's up for the challenge or not. Also, I've got the double pivot in midfield. I've got Caicedo and Enzo. As I said, there is a risk we have to move Caicedo to right back. Well, in that case, I'd put Conor Gallagher into that double pivot alongside Enzo. Yeah, I think Caicedo and Enzo is probably the strongest in double pivot. Obviously, 2 world-class players at their very best. And if we want to win this game, them 2 would be vital. We need them to play at the very best. Pull the strings in the game like we know they can. And, that would help us massively on our way to victory. I've obviously got the 3 behind the striker. I've got Conor Gallagher in the middle. I've got Raheem Sterling on the left. Obviously, continues fantastic form. He's up the Premier League Player of the Month of November. Hopefully, continue that, and hopefully get his name on the nomination list for December as well. He'd be a good way to start. And then obviously Cole Palmer on the right, who's been fantastic for us so far this season. Them 2 on the wings, definitely been the key bits of light in this team so far. And up front, Chris Jackson. Obviously, that means I haven't got Mudryk start again. But one thing I wouldn't be opposed to doing is, as I say, put Caicedo right back, Cole Palmer in the middle, Sterling on the right, Mudryk on the left. I don't think that's a bad shout at all of a team to play. I think Mudryk's definitely got to come off the bench. He's definitely got to start playing some more. Yeah, he has come off the bench pretty regularly. Hasn't done much though off the bench the last few games. He's looked good when he's got a chance to do something, but he hasn't realistically done that much. So maybe he does need to start, just get himself settled in the game. Maybe now in this December period, it's going to start being a lot of squad rotation. So I think that's very good for players like Mudryk, like Matson, trying to get themselves in the game. So then, that is it for today. Hopefully we can rack up the 3 points, move ourselves up to 9th place, overtake Brentford, and then obviously we'll look forward to a massive game in midweek against Manchester United. That's the aim. So home to Brighton, hopeful 3 points. Hopefully make it look relatively easy. Obviously it's not going to be. Brighton are a very good team, but us at our best. This squad, they can do stuff. So that's the hope. Hopefully they can go do it. Thanks for watching. See ya.